Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Sunday mornings, messages of love from above. Hope you guys had a fantastic, amazing weekend and holiday if you celebrate that beautiful day of gratitude. And I'm just getting my desktop all set up here, and we will get into the readings. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. First of all, we got a great group of people full of huge hearts, great senses of humor. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you want to know how all the readings work, the free readings, how to prioritize your reading, all that information's in the description box of the video down below. And just a couple quick announcements here. We've got a full moon in Gemini happening tomorrow. So if you want to know here, let me see. There, I can see there. Here was a pick a card that I had for the Gemini full moon. It talks about how to make the most of your full moon energy of release. And there's a pick a card that focuses in on the Gemini energy. Gemini rules over the house of siblings, aunts and uncles and cousins, and so we've got this, message from the higher selves of those individuals. So that was a really cool reading. And then, of course, we also entered Sagittarius season. So happy birthday to all you Sagittarius sun babies. Here is a pick a card for that. And for you sun babies, there's actually a special birthday bonus reading at the end of it that gives you a forecast of the following 3 months. And we're almost to the end of November. I know, swish, swish, swish. Before we know it, we're going to be in 2024. But here, if you haven't checked out the uh, what is this? The giveaway. This video announces the winners from October, and then how you can get into the November drawings, which I will have like on December 1st or around there, and make an announcement of those winners. So be sure to check those out, and we will get in here. So hey, Supernova, your bacon cookies. Ooh, what kind of cookies? One of my favorites is oatmeal chocolate chip. What a combo, right? Mm-mm-mm. Can't find those a whole lot around, and God forbid I should want to make them, right? But I love it. So we will get started here. I'm going to be using the Sun and Moon Tarot is one of them that I'll be using. This is what it looks like here. If you guys are interested in picking those up wherever you pick up tarot, if you are so inclined and are drawn to them. So, Supernova, you will be up first here. Thank you so much for your dual donations here. And a shout out to Dijona, one of my YouTube members. Your name is in green, and I love the color. And then, of course, it's like you have Christmas colors, green, and then your red badge. It's very Christmassy. This looks like orange on this video maybe, but this is actually a very red shirt. I don't know why it's coming looking different. Maybe it looks different to you guys, but we'll get in here. So let me give your first donation some love there, since I can. And you want to know, what is your inner subconscious world like? Wow, that is a great question. So we'll see what spirit wants you to know. It's like asking, what's the universe like? It's so expansive. We are like, now we used to be like 10% conscious, 90% subconscious. We're like 11% conscious, 89% subconscious, because we have access to our subconscious more now in this day and age of in humanity than we had in the past, which is igniting a lot of awareness. Just that 1% gives us more access to like the Akashic records, past life information, and a whole bunch of stuff. So I love this question. And we're going to see what of your subconscious world that spirit wants you to know about, because it's so expansive. So much is in there. All of our emotional inner child is down there. Um, and everything we learned during our the first 7 years of our life, even within the womb. And then, of course, all our past life, our future lives, everything, because there's no time in the subconscious world either. It's part of the dream world. It's just so expensive. It's amazing. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know about your subconscious mind. And of course, they want three cards from the bottom of the deck because that would be the subconscious. Right, those are so perfect. Um, and it's great if you ever, I mean, there's different ways we can access our subconscious too. This is one of the books that we're reading here in our praying mantis sessions, which is tapping into wealth. And wealth goes into abundance and our worth and things too. But tapping, which is tapping here, and then we've got all these acupressure points that we um, can talk and speak with our subconscious and access it. So it's very interesting, how we can do all this. But of course, on the bottom of the deck, the subconscious, you've got the high priestess, which she is one of the main individuals who dives into the subconscious. The high priestess is able to step back, connect higher, go behind the veil, diving deep into things and then diving deep into our emotions too. So the high priestess shows that we have this ability to, go into those places and go into and access all that information. We all are gifted with the ability to go into the Akashic records to dive into those things, but it's a matter of quieting ourselves. When we're in fight or flight mode and fear and run out into the human world, we're in the conscious world, and the subconscious stuff is all running on autopilot, right? So the more time we take away connecting with spirit, going behind the veil, diving deep into who we are, the more access we have to it too. Another two, you had the high priestess, which is number two, and you have the two of cups. And the two of cups, has a variety of things, but there is this emotional choice energy that comes in with this card here. But it's also about this joining together and this relationship that we have with the spirit world. And so with these two twos coming in, it is all about realizing we have the power of choice. We have all this stored information that we've took on, growing up, both in our emotional body, which is 7 years and younger, like we talked about. The mental body is like between 7 and 14. Then our physical body is 14 to 21. So we've got these three pockets of 7 year cycles where the human side of us is developing and we're growing. And then in our 20s is when we kind of have our Saturn return, like between 25 and 35, where we can, it's like we're almost have a magnifying glass that points inward for us to question our thoughts and beliefs. And then, we go about our business until like 55 to 65 when we go through kind of another epiphany. That's why a lot of people have midlife crises because they do all that. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to rub it in, Supernova. Don't make me get my cane. Yeah, young whippersnapper. I like it. And you have the Ace of Pentacles too, which this is where this talks about new opportunities that formulate in the outside world. And a big piece, I feel like they're bringing with all these three is the power of our subconscious and how there's so much running on autopilot subconsciously, especially from our emotional inner child that keeps things away, that manages stuff. And that's why subconsciously we do a lot of stuff that we don't realize we're doing, like, sabotaging ourselves. Even in this, we were just read the chapter, and actually, we're in the chapter in here that talks about our earliest view of money paradigms. How, we vow, I'm never going to be like my parents when it comes to money and da da da. And then we find out, oh, my life is a reflection of how my parents felt about money and wealth when I was younger. You're like, oh, here it is. Well, it's because it's all running down there. It's an amazing thing. But when we can step back and dive into our subconscious, we feel a lot. And let's see here. That was the on the bottom of the deck. Let's take a look here. Wow. Yeah. So it's the place of death and rebirth for sure here. You've got the death card, rebirth card, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and then also the world card. Two of the major arcana cards that talk about the endings and new beginnings, significant endings and new beginnings. This is where change happens. This is where things roll out and new opportunities happen in the outside world because of this, right? So it is the place where if we're wanting to make change, we make change in our subconscious and getting in tune with it. Because when we're trying to change from the outside in, it don't work, right? It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound, right? It's we're dealing with the symptoms, but the cause is in our subconscious. And so to get to the cause, to get to the root, we get into the root, into our subconscious world. And so I like this, and I know it says, "What is your subconscious world like?" Uh, you know, there's a lot of change, a lot of they're showing me like one of these huge tower clocks with all the gears going. There's all this stuff that's unfolding and turning in here. And yeah, and I like this here with the 7 of Pentacles is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And with the 8 of Swords, here is you looking at your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. The 8 is a great, card to have because it's this movement of thought and belief. So you are already, challenging yourself. You're already ahead of the game per se, even though you're not 21 yet. I know you already are doing inner work and looking at your inner child and your thought processes already, so you're getting a head start, and this is great. It's a great flowingness that's coming in here. And this and quite honestly, yeah. Quite honestly, a lot of the youth, the people that are, under 20 right now, the last couple of decades have had a special um, you know, um I don't know, it's not like a race of humans, but it's souls who have specifically have come here. A lot of times they'll call them like indigo children, and but it's a lot of people that a lot of souls that have come here for this time to help the planet transform over the next decades. With this age of Aquarius we're going into, it's the changing of how we're looking at things, how we exist on the planet. And so there's a lot of this that happens earlier, a lot of the norms, of, well, we don't work on things till later in life. Of course, you get this card. Um, it's it's things are speeding up. Um, the youth are seeing things so much faster, so much broader, so much clearer than uh, the older generations. And it's on purpose because souls are coming in at a higher vibration already from the get go. Of course, your final card for this question is you have to get the Empress. What would a reading be without you getting the Empress? So, creativity, one of the big things of what your inner subconscious world is like is it is a mini creator. It is constantly putting out energy to the world. And that is where we're these co-creators of our lives, and our subconscious world is a lot of where, that originates from. So it's a very simple and complex thing, the subconscious world, because everything is of unconditional love down there underneath the surface. There's no judgment under there. There's no, it just is, and so it doesn't look at things of being right or wrong. It's just experiences. It's our human mind that takes us into our fear mode and takes us into those things. So hopefully that helps and brings a little clarity there, with the subconscious that's in there. It's an amazing. It's like a universe within with a Men in Black. One of the movies where they were looking for the universe, and it was on a little ball on the cat's, collar. It's like that is like what our you know, um, subconscious is. It's the universe within us. It's this huge expanse, and so I love that. So that is what they have for that for you, and then, let me see here. Second question, there you go. Thank you. I was reading down the list here, and let me give your second donation. Thank you so much for that second donation too. What are the gifts and abilities you were born with and meant to share with the world? All right, let's take a look here and see what I want you to know here. What are your gifts and abilities? All right. Of course. All right. What else here? Okay. Funny, funny, funny. Okay. And yeah, in the bottom of the deck too. Well, that just reiterates that. So, oh, well, all these that makes sense here. Okay. So, a couple of the things here that the first two cards that came out, threes, like the Empress, is the creativity. You have two threes that come out here. Three of Cups is sharing of joy with the world, right? And the Three of Wands is about change of direction. And I love this for you because it is this energy of the creativity of sharing this a lot. The Three of Cups represents like community and groups and feeling like we belong and those types of things that come in here. And so there is this change of things, this change of direction, all this creativity. And you got the High Priestess. That's why well, of course, we just talked about this, right? Where this is about uh, sharing what you learn, from all of this, allowing that creativity from your subconscious and the exploration too of things coming in, but a big transformation of like taking an off ramp to joy. And I feel like that is a lot of what we've talked about with your gift of creativity and uniqueness and helping people transform that because you've got three three cards of choice. You've got the Two of Swords, which is the choice of story in our head. Got the Two of Cups, the story of what emotion we want to choose, and the Lovers card, which is the choice of emotion we want. And so really emphasized here about the movement of um emotion. And here's the movement of mind and thought, closing their eyes and opening our hearts. And I feel like this is a big piece here because you even have the Five of Wands, which is transformation of energy that comes in here. And so, Three of Cups with all of these Two of Cups and Lover's card is all about, like the joy, choosing joy, transformation is a huge piece of all of this. And the High Priestess, she has tons of divine feminine energy. And it's like, um, I don't know if you had a chance to check out Aurora yet, but her energy is very divine feminine. Like I feel like she's like I said, like a wood nymph who she had just exudes like she's Mother Earth embodied. And even though she was like a teenager when she started and when shared and expressed things, just you can see that she's a much older soul in a young body and that she feels like mother. In fact, what was she had a song that was about um and it was about it had to do with like a kingdom, oh, queendom, that's what it was. Duh. So it's called queendom, and and it just feels this type of energy that comes forward, that it's just like an embodiment of mother, of nurturer, of love. And in that nurturing and transformation, I feel like this is like the gift of being love and helping people transform, this energy of love into, this um, switching of energy, this empowerment, right? And so I feel like that's what the main focus is, right? And there's it's almost like the your subconscious. We have limitless gifts and abilities on how to do it, whether it's in, how we talk to an individual, how we sing our music, just sometimes it's just the energy, you know. I mean, and that's why Aurora, she's a music artist for all those of you that may not know her, but she's um, from Norway, I believe, and just so unique and so pure when you just listen to her and you can just see the joy. She just glows with this innocence and joy, but power and divine feminine goddess energy. It's just it was beautiful. And I feel like this is like when you see how she just shares in anything she does, where she's just goofing off and laughing, you can just feel an energy around her and a change. And I feel like this is a lot of the same what you are, gifted with. And will you be on a world stage? Possibilities are there, right? But it starts with being in the moment and giving that to yourself first, and then you're able to just be uniquely you and to share that. And that's what I feel like that's what your gift is and what you are to share with the world. And but it's about doing the things that you're doing, releasing the fears, releasing the restrictions, not worrying. I mean, people were commenting when how she would sing, and she just embodies her music and she's gone. And then she comes back, and it's like, wow, and it's because she got releases attachments to the world, and she just becomes this conduit of love energy to the world in whatever song and whatever story that she's bringing through. So I love that. Yeah. So that is for that one there. And I just make sure I didn't get any other donations coming in here. All right. Yeah. So boom. So here we go. All right. So that is what they have for you there. And then I see you have another donation. So we'll come back around here after we look at here for Yasmer. I probably murdering that. My apologies. I think I do that each time, but thank you for your donation. Let me give that some love there. And you want to know what is being hidden at work? Uh-oh. All right. Let's take a look here and see. All right. What else? Yasmer? Gonna call you Yaz. Hey, Yaz. And for anyone new that's joining, I see some people asking how, added to the list. There is no list. The chat is the list. If you look at the description box of the video, it tells you about how everything works if you want to um, have your reading prioritized as well. All right, so yes, okay. Well, whatever is hidden, we've got the sun card, which is this telling you that whatever is hidden is going to be brought to light. The sun shines on everything, even the cobwebs of whatever's happening. And so there is this energy that is showing, I mean, it's basically telling you that nothing can stay hidden for long at all. Things are revealed, and let's see what they are telling you here. So we've got the 4 of swords, which is peace of mind, and you've got the Lover's card here, which is the power of emotional choice too. I like this message here that they're not telling you what it is yet. You still have a few more cards left, so we'll see what comes from those. But this message is for you to put your mind at ease and knowing that whatever unfolds, whatever is hidden, whatever is brought to light, that the Lover's cards is that you get to choose what emotions you want to feel regarding it. That you're not at the whim of anything that happens in the outside world. We're given a lot of opinion on supposed tos and shoulds and need tos. Like when this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel, but you don't have to. You get to choose. We might have taken on making a habit of an opinion, a popular opinion of other people, that when that happens, this is how I feel. And so we made it our habit, but we can stop and we can go, you know what? I'm not at the whim of whatever is you know, happens and unfolds in the world, at work, in relationships, whatever. That's why we fear the future. That's why we have this unrest that happens when we try to, um, you know, uh, need to know what's happening because we're told that, this is the story, the emotions, the energy, the actions that I have to take forward with these things that come our way. And so we feel that we're at the whim like a puppet. There's like this, feeling of a puppet on a string. In fact, one of the emojis that I was able to create is this one here, which is for my YouTube members. And it's snipping away. We're not like a puppet with all the strings. When we have this belief that I have to act a certain way and do a certain way, with it, then it's like, okay, I see how, I feel like I am at the whim, and we fear the future then because if this thing happens, this is how I have to feel and act and think. If this happens, then this is how I have to do, and then we do feel like a puppet. But I like this awareness that's coming in here, that is you can put your mind at rest because you're the one that gets to choose the story, the emotion, the action, and the energy you put forward with it. So I like this. It's like there's the hidden is being hidden for you to be comfortable with the unknown because th- even though you might be unknown with things in the outside world, you know what your power on the inside. And I feel like this empowerment is a big piece of what's happening in your life right now. But let's take a look here. Will they give us a skinny on stuff? Let's take a look here. All right. Well, we do have looks like what's hidden is there's going to be some changes in communication coming in here. We've got the 10 of swords, some changes of some roles and expectations, I feel is what is coming here regarding work. Because you've got the knight of swords, woo, which is movement. Yeah, see, they're throwing those out. Which the night is, the movement of thought and belief and mindset, a change of expectations, a change of rules. But there's a significant, because the 10 is endings and beginnings, which is good. It's like some things are being thrown out and some new things are being brought in. So there is some change that's in the air, but it feels more procedural and goals, if there's like goals and things like that, betrayal. Um, but it just feels like there is this change of expectation, this change of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts that is happening here overall. And we got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is this transformation of emotion too. And I feel like like I said, what's hidden is gonna be revealed, but all of this is happening on purpose. It's not an accident, it's not people, we're not on an out of control drama train that's about to explode and, fly off into a gorge somewhere. Everything is happening for us, and so, with this stepping into our power, going, you know what, whatever is happening, I get to choose. The all these swords and the four of swords, I get to choose what story. You know, betrayal is a story, right? It's like things just happen, but whatever story we put to it, oh, that's betrayal. Or we can say, oh, this is transformation. This is freedom. I get to put whatever story I want to what's happening, right? And then the emotional choice. I get to choose how I want to feel about this. Am I going to be upset because I'm taught this is betrayal? And when there's betrayal, that means I'm supposed to get revenge or throw myself, on my bed and oh, woe is me or whatever, or is it like, all right, this is an opportunity. I get to choose the story, the emotion. I get to choose where I'm focusing the energy and the physical actions I take. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna be a rebel. I'm going against this, and the 6 of Cups is this transformative energy, knowing that every moment is either of a lower vibration of fear, of losing conditional love, that's at the core of it, fear of failure, fear of rejection. All of that is fear of losing a conditional love, or of unconditional love. And neither's right, neither's wrong. They just bring us different things, right? So every moment we have a story that we choose of lower vibration or higher vibration, emotion of lower vibration, higher vibration, energy that I'm putting out, lower or higher. My physical actions are of lower vibration or higher vibration. And like I said, there's no wrong or right. They're just different. When we focus on lower vibration, we draw more lower vibrational things in. We feel limited and powerless and trapped and, all those emotions that are related to it. Or we have the unconditional love, which is joy and peace and laughter and gratitude and fun, right? The sun, the bright like the sun, right? And so there's no wrong or right choice. And so I feel like that they're saying here that there's just some changes of expectations, but all of these cards do show us here, with especially that 6 of Cups, does tell us that we have the ability to look at things differently and transform an experience. Because when our human little inner child feels unsafe and out of control, it bumps out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side of us, because it goes into fight or flight mode and it just wants to feel back in control. It wants to feel back and safe, and it will do whatever it feels it needs to do that. It will you know do unintelligent, unloving, uncompassionate things, because it's a 2-year old that's in there that has like a pet a pet hissing cat. It just attacks or runs away, or attacks and then runs away, and it does what it needs. And so when you see people doing stupid stuff, which we look all around the world, what happens when people are in fear, we're like, wow, wars, betrayal, they're going to do whatever they feel they need to do to feel safe and in control, and they're not thinking. And then so when we realize, oh, the emotion that I'm picking up from other people, if it's of lower vibration, then I know it's a fear, they're out of their minds. Or if it's of unconditional love, I'm like, "Yeah, I want more of that," right? But that's how we transform, and we stop taking other people's actions personally, when we realize if it's an unloving act or word that they're speaking, or non-word or non-action, they're not doing something or not saying something, then we're like, "Oh, fear." And when people are in fear, it's like swimming out to rescue someone who's drowning. Their arms are flying over the place, and if they smack you upside your head, it's not on purpose. They're panicking, right? And then they see you and they grab onto you. They pull you under the water, and you're like, "Why are they trying to kill me?" And it's like, "No, they're panicking." You get a hold of them, you take them to shore, and as they come out of the fear, you see the human, compassionate, intelligent person return to their eyes. The animal instinct is gone, and their human is back. And they're like, "Oh, hey, when did you get here?" You're like, "I've been here all along. See this black eye? You gave this to me." But we stopped taking their actions personally when we realized they were in panic, they were in fear, and that it didn't mean anything about me. They were off on their own world panicking, and it wasn't personal toward me. they were having their dramatic panic moment. And it's like, okay, it's like when someone yells fire in a theater, people run all over each other. But when they're not in panic, they leave very calmly, but they get out of their minds and, and act that way. So I know we went deeper into that, but I feel like that's for more than just you and me too. But that's what they have for you. So thank you, Yaz, for your donation and for your question. Hopefully that's helpful. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list. Many blessings to you. And Supernova, your question's up next here. So we'll give you some love there. Thank you so much. And take a look here. Hello, 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 Needy. Sarvaya. I'm glad you like that. All right. Let me see. No, it's down here. Okay, third question. Whatever you need to hear from your spirit guides. All right. And then HTTTPS, you'll be up after that. And then your additional supernova. Thank you so much for all your donations. I appreciate you guys. It allows me to continue to do this and offer a lot of free content because this is how I live. So thank you guys so much. And for everyone waiting for your free readings, appreciate your patience with all that too. So, what do your spirit guides want you to know? Right now, well, okay. 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 So, I know I get to laugh and say everything in advance, and that's kind of mean. So sorry. But I love them. So you've got the 7 of Wands as you this is the spotlight, you standing up and being yourself, and I feel like you get this, um, a bit, when we pull your readings here, and you got the 6 of Pentacles, which is the balancing out of your worth, and you've been working on this, and I feel like they're showing you that you're just growing brighter and brighter because this is like the sun does not ask permission to shine. They don't dim their brightness. They don't worry about the people attacking them, knowing that when people are attacking, it's because they have like low self worth, right? They do that because they are, um, you know, they feel like they're down here, you're up here, and then as you get higher and higher, brighter and brighter, not higher, higher, like, but brighter and brighter, they feel like they're going lower, but, and you don't have to worry about that, um, there's this, energy here of, looking at your worth and releasing this out of balance, like, I don't deserve this, and any of those obstacles, you're working those out, and um, um, there's this change, there's this movement of things, and this is what you're looking at, this is what you're diving into, which again, you're head of the curve in looking at this at your age already, because you're looking at and standing, um, you know getting this bravery and this courage to stand and be you. And when you feel like, well, I don't deserve that, when those bubble up, that's your inner child. This is your subconscious, that inner child we were talking about, who has this out of balance giving and receiving. I have to give so much to deserve so little, and it's like, nope, tick, 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 and there's this balancing out of this that's coming in. And I just, with those 2 cards together, it's like your spirit team is to tell you that it takes time and to be patient with it and don't beat yourself up with it. Um, and, and that you have made progress, even though you feel like sometimes you feel like you've taken 10 steps backwards. No, you're on a spiral, you're moving up, and when you revisit things, you're revisiting it because you've come full circle around. It's like, if you ever see those libraries and movies or museums where it's this huge pathway of that, just there's no stairs, it's just like a huge ramp that keeps going higher and higher and higher. And that's what happens in our lives is, um we and it's made out of glass on the outside, and so we see the scenery as we go up, up the spiral, and it looks the same to us because we're just a floor up. But if you closed your eyes and went up 5 floors and then looked, you're like, holy crap, look how far I've come. But you're with yourself all the time. That's why it feels like you're not making progress when you actually are. And so, um, they want you to know that there. Yeah, and it's all layers for all of us, right? Because it's 7 years old and younger is when we develop that the Six of Pentacles are worth, right? By how much we felt we had to give and got very little, and most human children have that. Um, and so when our mind starts to develop between 7 and 14, our emotional body is pushed down into our subconscious because our mind goes, no, 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 you can't speak your emotions because you're going to get us thrown out of the tribe and we're going to die. So you need to go into to the cellar. So our mind goes, push, 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 closes the gate. And that's why there's layers, because they're down there going, hey, I still had stuff I wanted to express. And until we connect with our inner child, our emotional inner child, allow it to express its emotions, that emotion stays charged down below. So that's why it's important to access our subconscious. And, we've got here the Two of Cups, which is developing the relationship with your higher self and because there's this energy that we have in our life. In the beginning, we're unaware of our higher self and we just feel like we're these humans that are on an out of control drama train. Oh my god, what's happening in my life? And then we realize, oh, I'm more than the human. I'm a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who's made of unconditional love. And then that battles against the human fears, and it's like it feels like it's supposed to be a battle because there's so much opposites between the two, conditional versus unconditional. And but then we move into this place realizing these are both part of me. This is the powerful, 99% of me, and this is just a small piece of me experiencing this human experience. But at the point we know that our higher self completes it and we walk hand in hand with our higher self. And so it's about allowing. The trying is something that we're taught, right? You got to try, you got to try, you got to do. And that's about being and allowing the coming together of our higher self. Because the more we put restrictions and rules around supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts, that's not of unconditional love, that's of fear. And we're like, "Oh, I'm fearing I'm not doing it right." You know, there's no wrong in the spirit world. The more you connect with spirit world, you realize how unjudgmental and unconditionally loving they are. They're like, "There's nothing wrong. There's no right or wrong. That's this place. This is that theme park." Yeah, it is funny because it's like a spiritual ego, in a way, because we're taught, oh, we got to destroy our ego, and so our the big capital ego disappears. It's like a hand puppet, it disappears, but then here comes, oh, here's my spiritual ego. It's full of fear too. You're supposed to and should, and the spiritual community, and it's uh, has a bunch of rules. You jump out of the frying pan into the fire, and that's the way this world works until we free ourselves from it. Until we free ourselves from the oppression, the 10 of wands, all this energy we invest in trying, and we realize I don't have to try. I can just be. This drive, this is fear based. I used to ask my reps when I was a manager in call centers, and because some of them were so driven, I'm like, what's driving you to try to get so far so fast, in our lives? And it's like, well, there's these fears of failing, this long list of stuff that we strive, I've got to get to it, and it's like, you're perfect now. If we realize that we are already a perfect mountain, and we come down here as humans, and all these different experiences, throughout the universes and different dimensions, we come down to investigate and walk around the mountain of who we are, to explore who we are. In this realm, we come down to experience, like at the base of the mountain, to see our height and our breadth, and like, wow, by experiencing who we're not, we understand who we are. Experiencing chaos, we understand the peace, you know, sadness, we understand what joy is. And it's the walking around the perfect mountain of who we are that is part of all this adventure. We don't have to try to become something different. We're just discovering who we are. And it's a big aha that happens. And of course, you get the Empress again. I love your spirit guides. So it's about being a co creator and just realizing that you're not trying to be anything different. And it's like Rumi, who says you don't have to discover love, you just discover the obstacles that we have created in our human form between us and love. And so the creativeness is that we're not in the, the baby seat in the back seat and the creator's driving the car, or the vehicle, and driving us to where we're supposed to go. They're in the passenger seat. We're behind the wheel, and they're going, "Where do we want to go next? Let's go!" And they're all along for the experience. There's not a big judgment of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos. There's intention of what we wanted to learn, what we want to experience, like going to a giant theme park, going, okay, I definitely want to ride the log ride. I want the cotton candy and the hot dog, and I want to go see the butterfly, park that they have, and the roller coaster. Got to go on the roller coaster. We have all this stuff we want to experience, and it's because we want to, not because we are supposed to or have to. We come here for our experience, and there's no right or wrong. There's just a minimum experience we will have here regardless. And then there's everything else we choose gives us a variety of what we want to experience. So I know it sounds like fun. So I feel like they're telling you to be gentle with yourself, and don't try not to have yourself under so much pressure of, I have to be someone, I have to do something, I have to become. It's like, no, you just be, because you are perfect and you're discovering who you are. And that's the adventure, so I like that. All right. And that's what they have for you on that one, Supernova. So many blessings to you. And again, thank you for your multiple donations. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a quick sip here. And then HTTTPS. Let me give your donation some love there since it lets me. All right. And you wanted to know what and when will happen to you in 2024. All right. Great question. Let's take a look here and see what they want you to know is going to be happening here. All right. All right. All righty. So, okay. You actually, I was going to say, what about the when? And they have, but they've given me 4 little mini stacks, which are each of the quarters. So the first 3 months of 2024, you're going to be having, this power of choice is going to be coming here. The events that you have happen between January, February, and March, the 2 of Wands is a choice of wherever you focus your energy. You have a very powerful time of manifestation. Whatever you focus your energy on comes to you fast, and just fast and furious. Fast and furious, right? So it's like, if you're focusing in on what you feel is missing, or what you hate, or what you fear will go in your life, or um, come into your life, you will draw and expand the missingness and the things to hate, because you'll be telling the universe, I really love this. Give me more of that. But if you focus in on what you're grateful for, what you do want in your life, joy, unconditional love, happiness, then more of that comes in. And this is where that 5 of Cups comes in, because if we focus in on what we're mourning here, let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, what were the 3 cups that are spilt here, which are lower vibrational, will draw more of that in. But you got the 2 of cups here with the 2 of wands. The 2 of cups is the power of emotional choice, which both of those coming in are saying that you have the ability to change your approach to things, how you're looking at things as well. So, I like that. Very powerful 3 months, being aware of the emotional choices you're making, the energetic choices you're making, because whatever you focus on grows. Like attracts like. And they're bringing this in because your planets are in alignment or whatever that brings in things fast. Normally, we draw things to us, but these things are like, "Here they are," right? So, a great opportunity to manifest a lot of beautiful things in your life in your first 3 months, so I like that. And then in your next 3 months, that would be what? April, May, and June, the 2nd quarter, you've got the 6 of wands is victory, and I like this. The 5 of pentacles, it's like you have this awareness that comes in. This is these feelings of lack, which I feel like this is like your 2nd quarter. What you learned in the 1st quarter, you're applying even more in the 2nd quarter, where this is feelings of abandonment, being left behind, being left out in the cold. And like I said, these feelings of lack, but you're also learning that you can trust spirit and trust that you can overcome this. Reflecting on where these beliefs came from earlier in your life, because this will be from all your 7 years old and younger when you had felt abandoned or left behind, or where that feelings of lack came in. There's this amazing energy that transforms. 5 is the number of change. This is pentacles. It's the outside world. It's the abundance. It's money. And there's this victory. So, whatever you learn in that 1st quarter, you have a strong possibility. This is not like a guarantee. This is the possibilities, because this uh, 2nd quarter is about you applying what you learned about manifesting in your 1st quarter, which is whatever I focus on is what grows. My energy that I'm putting out, if I'm focusing on what I'm missing, I'm telling the universe, like a little kid going into a donut shop in the little glass case, pointing at this donut, and the baker loads up a dozen and gives it to him, like, that's the one I hate. And they go, well, let me tell you some advice. Instead of pointing out what you hate, point out what you love, and I'll give you dozens of that instead. And I feel like the 2nd quarter is when you put that into practice. And then you have the 3rd quarter of next year. We've got the King of Wands, which is like entrepreneur, emperor energy, where you are choosing. And here with the 5 of Wands, and the Princess of Swords is the Page of Swords. You have new ideas that come in for you in your life, and you have this energy of you choosing what you're wanting to be, where you're wanting to head. So a lot of this is you're getting out of your head and you're moving forward and heading in a direction that you're wanting to go. This conflict that you have inside, I feel, has to do with this like urge, and you have the 2 of wands, you have the 6 of wands, all this fire energy. So next year is a year of movement, movement, movement. But this 3rd quarter, you're really realizing at that point, like June, July, August, or wait, July, August, September, that 3rd quarter, you're like coming into that quarter with this realizing what I focused on and drew to me is not really what I want, because you're getting reward, you're getting things brought in, but you're like, it's not fulfilling me like I thought it would. Because some of what you're living is you're living someone else's dream, not your dream. And there's this beautiful energy that comes in here with what you're deciding, going, you know what? I I know what I want, and I'm stepping out from the opinion and advice of all these advisors like this King of Wands has around him. It's like the Emperor and the King of Wands have this energy of new beginnings. I'm stepping forward. I'm taking control. I'm guiding my life. And so the 3rd quarter, you really make some significant changes. You have new ways of thinking, new ideas, new direction that you take in that third quarter. And then your last quarter, yeah. I like it. So your fourth quarter, you have the 4 of Pentacles, which is a solid foundation in the outside world. You really are feeling like things are coming together, and you don't feel so scattered in the outside world. And the Justice card here, here's that Ace of Swords. This helps you clarify what is of the human world and what is of your high heart. You can even see here, I think it has yeah, it has the heart, flaming heart on this side here, which is showing you again this change of a mindset, this change of looking at things that were going on, and um this change, this movement away from old ways of thinking, old ways of being, old supposed tos and shoulds and need tos, those old opinions, popular opinions and advice people gave you. This justice is this balancing of the scales of you're not so drawn into something that is you're doing out of fear of letting other people down, and you're like, I'm living my dream. And I feel like that's this empowerment that happens. Like your next year is this movement away from existing to living, and I like it for you. But, so I feel like those are the things they want you to know about. That's like your map for 2024. So, that is what they have for you right now. So thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that. Let's put the cards back in here. All right. And hopefully that was helpful. All right. And then Supernova, let me give your next donation some love there. And I think that would be question number 4. There it is. So, spirit guides on what don't you see or know about yourself as an individual, the good, the bad, the ugly. That was an old movie. So let's take a look here and see, what does spirit want you to know? What is unknown? I don't know. I mean, you're pretty self-aware, but let's take a look. All right. So the card on the bottom of the deck, or the cards, you've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is about you being true to the authentic you, and the Magician card is your higher self being this conduit, that brings down the energy through you and into the world. And so what you don't see or know about yourself as an individual is the you're discovering the uniqueness of who you are. We are all inundated with these stories of who we are, and these things mean this about us, and we get a lot of blah 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 that we have um given to us all this time, right? um you are, well, in comparison, let's just say, when I look back at when I was like 18, around that time frame, didn't have a clue. I mean, I was lost, and that you are asking these questions that you are and seeking what you are. Huh, like I said, you have a lot more awareness than you think you do. But all that said, you are it's like one of the examples spirit gives is, when we're growing up, it's like all these people, whether it's, family, friends, teachers, um, siblings, the world, movies, books, wherever, all these places are giving these like this wet paper mache. You know how like there are these long strips that are dipped in paper mache, and they're slapped on. They're given to us, and we slap it on, and eventually we're like this mummified. It's like someone who had a bad skiing accident, and all you can see is their eyes, and they have like breathing things for their nose and a place for their mouth, and we're just like, we feel like we're trapped because it's dried, and now we're not mobile. We feel stuck, we feel confined, and it takes time for us to break out and to peel away all of that stuff. And that's what you're in this discovery. You're like, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. There used to be this old game show, And it actually was even a board game way back in the day where you had all these little, um, like little cards that had things you had to match up. So you turn one over, and you'd see, oh, okay, this is, here's a dollar bill, and oh, here's a dollar bill. You get to remove those, but if you guess wrong, then you turn them back over and you don't get to see anything. Eventually, as you match things up and they're removed, you start to see pieces of the picture that's behind these cards, and you start to go, "Oh, wait, I think it is this. I think it's that." And you start to see things more clearly, and that's what I feel they're showing you, is that this is part of the adventure, though. If they started off the game showing you the whole picture, you'd be like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah. Boring," right? This is an adventure. It's the game that we're the adventure, the journey of discovery, right? And so I feel like that's what they're wanting to know here. There's more cards here, but you are discovering this. Yeah. Your power of choice is one of the big things that you're learning here with the chariot card, because that does tell us that every second we are making a choice, right? Of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. Every moment, it's very simple. It's one of the two, but it's a mental story that we're applying. Life just happens, but we put a story to it because of all that paper mache we've been told that means that, and so we're like, "Oh, this must mean this," and like, "But does it?" It's like, "No, it doesn't have to. I get to decide what something means," even though the entire world would be like, "The sky is blue." You're like, "You know what? I'm gonna call that ricochet." It's not even a color. "I'm calling that ricochet," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I can do it. It's my world I'm living in." People go, "No, no, you're wrong. It's called blue sky." But it's like all the different languages have a different word for it. Why can't I make up my own, right? Whoa. But this choice of mindset, the story I'm putting to anything that's happening in each moment, and emotional choice, right? Every choice I'm making each moment, every um, where I'm investing in my energy and my manifestation, and um, then also the physical action. I get to choose all that. And so you're learning this, that I don't have to obey everyone else's opinion. And so I like this. This is one of the things that you're learning. Yeah. And you have the sun, the brightness, the Leo energy. And this is you're learning about your subconscious. This Leo is the inner child too. And I feel like one of the things that you're discovering is, there's so much, like we were talking about before with your subconscious, there's so much down there, and there's so much to discover. There's a whole unseen world that you're like, "Oh my gosh," right? Um, and and so there's this discovery. Yeah, and it's your belief system was created on people's opinions growing up, and you can't avoid that. As children, we're just a sponge. The popular opinion that, even like, well, when someone says they're going to be faithful and they're not, that's bad. We have that in us, this judgment, right? And it's there until we look at it and go, no, that doesn't mean anything about me. This means this. We have a lot of, you know, things that we don't think are opinion, but they're popular opinions we took on as our own opinion, made them our habit, and that's our reaction now. So our reaction to things, it's like, oh, that's the human opinion that was given to me. Any fear trigger comes from the human side opinion, right? So there's this discovery happening here. Yeah, and here you're stepping into your power with the Queen of Wands, seeing your how truly powerful you are, and a lot of the power comes in here with the Four of Swords. Whoa, as you're discovering the higher truths, you're cutting through. You're seeing that there's all of these beliefs rooted in fear, but there's a whole new world. There's a whole new perspective of seeing things, and this is all this discovery, um, and I like all this. Right, let me see what your final card is. Yeah, because you have the Ace of Wands. You're learning to step into your power and that you're not at the whim of everyone else. Whatever you focus on is what does grow and expand, right? And that you hold the power, you hold the energy. Um, no one does anything to you. Um, it 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 just is. But you're the one that holds the power of how things impact. There's this wonderful person, James Allen. He wrote some books, and when I read it, it was a life changing thing because one of his things he says is that it's not the circumstances that define how it's going to impact us, or everyone going through the same situation would be impacted exactly the same, but we're not, right? And so that means it's not the circumstances that define what we're going through, but us that defines what we're going through. And that's that power, taking our power back and realizing how powerful we are and how much power we give away of, you made me sad, you made me mad. It's like, no, you just said something or didn't say something, did something or didn't do something. And now I'm determining how is that going to impact me mentally, emotionally, energetically, physically. And it's like, I get to decide. I get my power back. And I feel like this is a big, huge piece of what is unfolding with that. But I feel like like I said, you have inklings and these things that deep in your subconscious, in your powerful self, they're just seeping in, and clarity is coming to your consciousness around it all. So that's what they have for you right now. All right. Okay, and then you said you might change your second question. I mean, your last question here. Let me see. Yeah, it is amazing. And you said you might change your last question because in what way am I ahead of the game considering your age? When we were, when we not? Yeah, I feel like we've talked a lot about that. So if you want to think of a different question, take your time with that. I got some others that I'll jump ahead. And as soon as you put your question, I'll of course move you to being next. All right, very good. All right. All right, Nikitha, thank you for your donation. Give that some love here. Yeah, you are here. So you had your cat test today, and it was very difficult. Um, do we see you getting the 99 percentile in your exam, along with it clearing all the sectional cutoffs too? All right, let's take a look here. Did you get a 99 percentile? Okay. One card for that. We'll see what that is. And then along with it, are you clearing all the sectional cutoffs too? All right. What do they want you to know down here? Okay. All right. Let me get some clarity on that. So what is that? You got the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Because when we asked, did you get the 99 percentile on the exam? The Two of Pentacles is like, well, there's two possibilities in the outside world. We're like, yeah, but what is it? The Ace of Wands here, there's this new passion, this new drive that comes in here. And, you know, it just feels like there's this, with this change in this cycle. I don't, let me look at this other one here too, because the clearing the sectional cutoffs here, we've got the Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, which is new education, seeing things from a different perspective, but the Eight of Wands, which is fast movement here. So this feels like a yes for your second question, the clearing of all the sectional cutoffs, because here's fast movement. And is this is to get you into higher education, right? Because this is like higher education coming in fast and furious here. So you know, I feel like here we've got this, energy of did you pass it with a 99 percentile? It feels like an unknown with this, and I'm gonna dive deeper into this because I'm like, are you not supposed to know right now? Like they're telling you the other stuff, so that would tell me you passed to the other sectional cutoffs, happen fast and you're able to get into higher education. So I feel like that, but what is this about here? Ace of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, so why ain't you saying it? Why aren't you telling us? All right, what is this here? Two of Wands, all this power of choice that comes in here in the outside world. Your power, your power, your power. Oh, okay. I see. Let's see what these are here too. Okay, yeah. Because here's the chariot, the power of choice that's coming in here. And now I see why they're kind of telling you, like, well, the second piece that all works out fine. The first piece, I feel like the fears that we have around, passing or not, the 99 percentile, that they're having you, with the chariot, with these twos of the two of wands, the two of pentacles, those are all the power of choice energies that come in. The examiner have the choice. Well, but our energy is what draws things to us, right? And so I feel, that they're they're kind of in a way saying you're going to be fine, everything's going to go flow forward, but they're really zeroing in on the not knowing of things is important for you to know. You know what? I'm the one that gets to choose what something means. I mean, ultimately, you got the major arcana choice card, which is all about your power of choice. There's two bowls. We're choosing. Am I choosing fear or choosing gratitude? And realizing I get to choose, like we were just talking about with Supernova, the story, the emotions, the energy, and the physical actions. And it's like, so what am I fearing if I don't do it? What am I fearing? Yeah, what am I fearing? Are they, you know, is this a test where if you don't pass it and get in the 99%, they take you out back and shoot you? No, right? It's like I will be fine either way. And so what am I fearing? Okay, I feel like it would delay. I fear what people would think, blah, blah, blah. It allows us to look at what is at the root of it, right? Yeah. And there's no shoulds, you get to choose, and you can choose both. Choose to feel like it was tough, choose to feel like it was easy for everyone else, and it was just tough for me. Look at the fears that are bubbling below the surface, because I feel like this is what they're wanting you to learn with all these 4 cards with the first part of the question is, you get to choose. Everyone gets to choose their story that they apply to your life and their own. They get to choose what emotion they feel for their lives and everyone else's. We're the ones that get to choose, and everyone has an opinion. Do I want to take on their opinion? Nah, I don't have to or not. So we definitely don't have that energy. Um, yeah, you can definitely do a follow-up question here. But I feel like I feel like they say you're gonna be fine, but the big thing is they want you to, for your growth and for your future unfolding, it's to look at your your um the fears that are below the surface, because you get to be released from that, and then you get to have gratitude and joy and happiness and peace more than the because obviously you're gonna be taking tests for quite a while, it seems, because you're getting into something where you're gonna be a test, a test, a test, a test, a test, so that's coming in here. And I haven't started any free readings yet, just for anyone that is coming in. And So just be aware of that. So no, Luna, I have not done yours yet. and right now I'm on Nikitha's first question, and then I will come back to yours. Yeah, so more and more tests. It's good to learn now. Yeah, why am I freaking out so much about test? And you're not alone in that. We all do that. But it's getting to the root of it to understand um, with that. So no problem there. No, never feel bad about donating, Supernova, because this is how I eat. So if I don't get donations, then I would be working a full-time job and I wouldn't be here. So I'd be exhausted like the rest of you. So don't no need to apologize. All right. So I'm going to continue down the other free readings, and I will come back to your other question here, Nikitha, in a moment. But we've got Dune, and then Olivia, and then I think okay, and then so Nova, you did ask your other question. Great. So you actually will be first, and then Dune, and then Olivia. So um messages from Kurt Spirit. I love Kurt. He's such a bright spirit now. Okay. And I think he did this yesterday, but he wants to go to the Chinese Five Elements Oracle. It's like, grasshopper, here is your message. All right, so let's see. What does Kurt want you to know? What message does Kurt have for you? All right. I love this. So it's the metal bird, and then I'll do that. Here's the on a mirror. Mirrors, mirrors, mirrors. And it says, treat yourself like loyalty. I mean, royalty, not loyalty. Um, so I like that. Treat yourself like a queen, or at least a princess. And it says, the metal bird contains pure yin metal, the element of glamour and self reflection. How perfect. The bird, a yin metal sign, and a peach blossom star, like a diva, adores all shiny objects and loves to luxuriate in the sweetness of life. You're gonna be a diva. They're all they're calling you a diva. She encourages us to embrace the divine feminine within. Feel wow, we were just talking about that too, about Aurora and the divine feminine and that. Feel her power rising and surrender to her intoxicating sweetness and seductive darkness. The yin exists in each of us, and this card invites you to explore the feminine within, especially the sensual side of you. Being in tune with the heart, the mind, the body, and the senses helps connect us to the yin energy. Make self care part of your daily routine. Define your own versions of luxury and invest in it. For example, to many of us, time is a luxury. So prioritize and be selective with who you choose to spend your precious time with. Let the beauty within be reflected in your movement, words, and actions. The yin metal energy attracts not only with looks, but also with sounds and words. Wow. So incorporate music and sound healing into your self-care regimen. Wow. So sound healing, if you haven't looked into that. I love how they're just supporting your dream and all of this. And it says the metal bird is also a reminder to value the self in a relationship. Love yourself like the gem that you are. Act like royalty and you'll be treated like one. So I like this. There's a couple more messages here with it, but when you say I'm no princess, that's what you can look at here. Is that your tiara? Is that what you said? Is your tiara really that precious? um, but the message from heaven says yin metal loves to flaunt. Know your worth and own your look. You are the creator of your reality. Things we've talked about, right? Message from Earth is we can access the yin metal energy through self reflection practices. See your reflection from a place of love and tell yourself something positive. The beauty staring back at you in the mirror will appreciate the feedback. Wow, I love this. So definitely, especially if you have this belief that you're no princess, and of course, you probably mean like, I'm no, I'm not a spoiled princess, but there's the what the but the princess, when we realize we are all royalty because we're all children of the mother and father of all things, the king and queen of the entire existence, we are the children of the creation of, so we are all princess and princesses or however we identify, right? But it's like realizing we are all royalty and that we're not worthless, that we're priceless, and stepping into that place that's there. Yeah, I feel like he's telling you about identifying and seeing your worth. And they're trying to show you this, with the mirror, trying to show you the reflection of who you are. This is going into kind of the looking at the worth and how we how we look at ourselves, how we're our roughest critics, right? We judge ourselves, we condemn ourselves, we lower and dim ourselves and shrink. And it's like, no, it's all about being a diva. They're talking about express yourself through music, look into sound healing, see who you are, step into your power, you know, walk as if you are a princess, a queen, right? And we're talking about queendom too, which comes back circling around. It's like you getting in tune with your divine feminine goddess powerful energy and being able to express that. And so they're just letting you know you have a large support, thousands of spirits that are around you supporting your journey here. You're never ever 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 alone, and they're doing so much for you on the other side. So I like it. They're definitely like they're showing me Saturday Night Live was Will Ferrell and I forget, she was a small little a shorter, compared to him because he was very tall. She was shorter, and they always dressed up in like their ready. Oh, okay, they were cheerleaders, and he's showing me that. Like he's showing me Will Ferrell's character that he's like, this, this energy. So yeah. Yeah, when we all leave our bodies, this is just a small piece of who we are, and when we go back to the other side, we are these huge beings of unconditional love and light. And when we are over there, we don't think like we do down here. We're expansive. We don't need anything. We are just wanting to be of service and to express love and help everyone on their journeys in their other existences and all of that. And so, yeah, they are watching over us and they're excited and they're supporting, always giving us love, always giving us signs, always, giving us waves, like people do their favorite sports teams and stadiums. They're, so you already have an audience, already, and it's the perfect audience because they love us no matter what. And they're so proud and supportive of us. So I like that. I love his messages. So clear, so much of that. Rewatch that again, because it's so much of the stuff that we've talked about, and there's so much packed in there too. So definitely listen to that a few times there, because that's a very important piece for that to step into there. Yeah, I do too. I get to hear all your guys' messages, so I love it. So thank you again for all your donations and all your love and all your support too. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting us be part of your journey too. All right. So Dune, you are up next. Let me give you that donation some love here. And 2024. What does Spirit want you to know about 2024? All right. That one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And below the surface, well, yeah, you definitely have the Seven of Wands here, this overall energy for your 2024, which is rising and being moved up and up and up, and not to worry about what other people think and the defending of other things. This is a time of glowing and being true to your path and where you're headed. And we'll take a look here at what all this other okay. Wow, 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 wow. All right. All right. Well, next year you're going to have quite the you have the 8 of Wands, fast movement, a lot of energy coming in. Things move very quickly in 2024 for you. And I see here how you are, moving up and moving up. You have Ace of Pentacles, so you definitely have new opportunities that are opening up in the outside world. And this has to do with how you're looking at your worth in a different way as well, right? And I think we talked about this book yesterday, right? Did we? Tapping into Wealth, because this has to do with, you have such an opportunity of abundance, but it can't come to you if your inner child doesn't feel you're um, worthy of it yet, right? If it feels you have to do 1,000 love coins to get one love coin back, or 1,000 abundance coins to get one back, then there's these forest fields keeping things away. And 2023, I feel, was a year of you. And I think we talked about that earlier in the year too. If they're bringing back, they're like telling me that this year has been about questioning thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around wealth and abundance that allows you to have this, to come back, right? So, but you do have this Ace of Pentacles is new opportunities, new abundance coming in, because you have this great possibility here with, I mean, literally wealth, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10, which is even your human is going to go, woohoo, great possibilities here. It's just this clearing away, of this, these thoughts and beliefs. It's like the flood wants to come in, but if the funnel or pipeline is shrunk to this, there's only so much that can come through, but it's expanding that pipeline. It's removing the obstacles and the clogs within this wealth and abundance pipeline. I mean, this is like, this possibilities of huge um abundance coming in, because you also amongst all that, the Queen of Pentacles, abundance, fruition, new birth, new money, new abundance coming in. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree, is the fruit. But they're also saying here, if if you're able to clear the clogs, it's like, for the abundance tree to grow, it needs irrigation. But if that irrigation that brings the water for the abundance to flow and for the tree to grow and for the fruit to happen, if that's clogged and that doesn't get a whole lot of movement, then it grows very, very, very slowly, and it's not as fruitful, right? So I love this for you because it's in your hands. Next year, huge, huge. I mean, 10 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. All of that is abundance and birth and fullness and harvest. It's just and it can come very fast with the 8 of Wands, but it does take the removing of the obstacles within it to do that. So, right? You're like, woohoo! So definitely check out that Tapping into Wealth. I'm currently reading that with my Praying Mantis members in our sessions, and great information because it talks like the chapter we're finishing up today is talking about um, how we have the concepts are so much fed into us. Our I think here I just need to find out the word that how they call it. It's um yeah, our earliest view of our money paradigm. That's the word I was looking for, is paradigm, because how our parents believed about money, even though we're like, no, I'm never going to believe like that, with how they believed, it's all in there until we transform it and we release it. And so it's amazing how you start to think about how your parents thought about money and how they reacted to it. And you're like, oh God, I do that now. And it's like, well, here we go. At least I know about it. And through the tapping and the methods it talks about, there's this freedom that comes in and this release that comes into. So I like it for you, Dune. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. All right. And again, thank you so much for your donation. All right. And Olivia, give that some love there. Thank you so much for your donation. Good afternoon to you. And you would like to know you'd reading on love relationships. Absolutely. Let's take a look here. I am doing much, much better. Thank you. Had a cold or sinus or whatever where it was not good for me to be on camera. I'd gross you guys out. Drainage, blah, coughing, hacking. Yay. So I hope you're doing well as well. All right, let's take a look here. So, who do you see significant coming into your life? Single mom for several years, held off dating to focus on your life, and ready to date. All right, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about love and anyone significant coming into your life? All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, we do have here the King of Pentacles. So I do like that for you. I feel like an earth sign is in the works for you. They're headed your way here. And let's take a look and see what Spirit wants you to know. Ooh, all right. Well, look at all this. Okay. So you're headed here in this direction, and part of what, you know, the when I'm saying they're being created for you and they're showing me like a person being printed on one of those new 3D printers. Zzz, 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 they're being drawn to you, but it's taking time to allow you this time here with the Three of Wands for a change of direction, a change of approach. And the Fool card here, the Zero, the first card in the Major Arcana, is about this new adventure, about this new unfolding of things that comes in here. And with this, we have the it's a path of following the World card, which is the last card in the Major Arcana, which is leaving behind old cycles and the beginning of new. And so there is this change, this adjustment of how you normally would go about things. That means we begin to let go of the thoughts, the beliefs, the mindsets, all the popular opinions of who they should be, who I should be, how a relationship is supposed to be, blah, 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 all that stuff that sucks the life out of a relationship, right? It's all this cage. It's all the expectations that bind and do this. And when we begin to release those things, that allows us to move from this place of lower vibration where we do what we always did and get what we always got, right? But we're raising our love vibration and we're changing our perspective and we're releasing things. It's like a hot air balloon with big sandbags on it. These beliefs keep us weighted down into lower vibration, drawing in lower vibrational people and relationships and experiences, which there's nothing wrong with it. We come down here to experience those. But at some point in our life, we're like, I'm done with that. I've had enough. I've rode that roller coaster 100 times. I'd like a different ride now, please. And so you start cutting off of those sandbags and the hot air balloon starts rising, and so your love vibration starts rising, and then you start drawing in someone who is more higher vibration, as well. And it's a different experience. Those that have the gratitude and love and joy and those higher expressions of emotion instead of the lower. And I like that for you. We do have here, this was like, wow, you got four fours. You've got the Four of Cups, emotional stability, the Four of Pentacles, external stability, and the Master Daddy Four, which is the Emperor. This is you deciding what you're wanting. The Emperor, the solid foundation of everything, which I do see here. You're so ready for a relationship because of all this strong foundation. Your Emperor, you're taking control of your life. This is fire energy, Aries energy, where you're, an Emperor um, will look at things like, what did I hear from everyone else? All this advice, all this that's coming from other people. Like I said, all the shoulds and supposed tos and need tos and have tos and musts, with all of that too. So there's this, great um, choice that you're taking. This great, you know, uh, thank you for all your advice. Clear the throne room. Now I'm going to decide what I want for my life, and I'm putting form around it. I'm having movement. I'm creating it. I'm not going with what everyone is telling me I'm supposed to. It's my life. It's like being at a giant dinner table at a restaurant and everyone's looking at the menu going, "Hey, hey, Olivia, this is what you should order. This is what you need. This is what you need." And it's like, well, if we're ordering an appetizer that everyone else is going to eat, yeah, we join together. But if I'm going to be the one eating it, it's my meal. I'm going to order what I want. Thank you for your advice, for your suggestions, but I know I want super nachos and I'm going to get super nachos, and so I like that for you here. Oh, good. Oh, he's an earth sign too. Recently single and not ready to date. Oh, that's cool. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And that's cool too. I like this, if they're not ready to date, which is good, that self-awareness is good. So it doesn't necessarily mean that's them, but yeah, definitely, um, it's like, do you even need to date? I just wanna go hang out with people. I don't want any expectations. I just wanna go and get to know people and have fun, and whatever unfolds, unfolds. That's the freedom of the Fool card. It's like, not like, well, you're supposed to date, and then after a certain amount of time, you're supposed to date exclusively, and then after a certain amount of time, they better ask me to marry marry 'em. And after some amount of time, they better, or better actually get married. And then this is what happens. And then that's all the weight. This is the freedom of an adventure, right? And I like your independence, like I said, to match your energy. You're ready for this. Uh, I don't want any of this. I need to know intentions. I need to know all this stuff. There's this freedom that comes in. So I like it. We definitely have, here even on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Empress, which is new birth, a new creation, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, so focusing on you. And you even have the Queen of Wands and the Hermit card, the 10 of Swords too, which this just reiterates the focusing while you're waiting for people to arrive. This is the cutting away of those um, the sandbags to allow you to fly and to go into places that you hadn't before. Yeah, and yeah, and waiting, and that's that's I feel like that's supported right now. The waiting because you're releasing some things within you, but also it's about not it's the king the emperor is choosing, and I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna do things and say, "Hey, I know you're not, like, ready for a relationship right now, but, um, are you open to going to a movie or hanging out or going to do something that you love to do. I like, hey, I want to go to this concert. You want to go with me? No expectations, freedom. Let's go. I just want an adventure, someone to go on the adventure with me. No expectations, just let's go. I kind of feel like that's supported too, is testing your boundaries and doing that. So, all right. So I like that for you, Olivia. Here we go. Get ready. All right. And again, thank you so much for your donation. All right. And then Nikitha, let me give your second donation here. Some love as well. So thank you for your additional donation. And so you do have two more tests coming up. Test, test, test. And so does Spirit see you getting admission offer letter from is that Lima? Ima? I am well, they know who it is for the PGP program for 2024 to 2026. All right, so let's take a look here. All right. All right, this will be good here. All right. So I do see here the Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity coming your way. This would be a positive here for you. They're your spirit guides are bumping you back to like focusing on your fears, because the Nine of Swords is all about it's the nightmare and insomnia card. What are we fearing? It's being brought up here. It's like they're reiterating you have opportunities that are coming, but what we really want you to do, it's like they're saying, yeah, 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 but we want you to focus on your fears. What is at the root of it here? You do have here with the Princess of Cups and the Princess of Pentacles. Here's the Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, new opportunities again, and new emotions coming in too. There is this, and you got the Success card. So they're telling you here everything is going to unfold beautifully and perfectly for you here, but they just want you to take this opportunity while you're waiting for all the stuff to happen is to look into the fear, because the fear is what sucks the life. What did we come here to experience? Fear. So there's nothing wrong with feeling and experiencing fear, right? um so that's okay. But when you're tired of feeling fear and anxiety, we have an off ramp off that freeway of fear that we can exit, and we just sit with our fear and go, what am I fearing? And we just get to the root of it, right? So like just with anyone with any type of job, or that's why we have test anxiety, why we have interview anxiety, why we have stage fright, because we fear what's going to happen and what is it going to mean about us, right? And so when we look at our fears and we go, what am I scared of? And let's just say test, right? Well, if I fear like I'm not going to pass this test, what are the things I fear? Well, I fear that I'm gonna be looked at as a failure. Well, what happens? What am I fearing if people look at me as a failure? What do I fear? Well, I'm gonna be rejected by people I care about. Is that true? Will people really reject you over a test? If they do, what does that tell you about the person? I don't care what they think about me anymore because they're don't deserve to be in my life. But, we look and we get to the root of it and go, well, I feel I'll get rejected. And if I get rejected, I'm going to get rejected by everyone in the world. I'm going to end up not being able to have a job and eat. I'm going to get thrown out of my house and I'm going to lose everything. And I'm going to end up living on the edge of town in a small tent, and I'm going to be killed by wolves, and I'm going to die alone. When we start putting our fears out there, we realize they aren't real. What's really at the root of those things, right? So, you know, there is this energy that we see and that we have, that we get to the root. And I feel like this is what they're wanting you to focus on is what is really at the root of all these fears. And then you're just like, I don't care. It's just a test. There's this, Which book was it? Oh, I think it was Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life book, because there's something in there that we learn, we've learned when we were younger that, oh, a test, when we take tests when we're younger, that we're told this defines who you are. And it's like, no, when we realize that tests are just a analysis of what our knowledge is at the moment, it doesn't mean anything about us. It doesn't define us. It's just telling us something about where our knowledge is at. And when we see things from a different perspective and we see it that way, we're like, okay, I don't freak out about it. And it's like when my reps would, they'd, I had people who would, they were so qualified for positions. They would prepare for their interviews. They'd go in and just the other managers who interviewed them go, I don't know what happened, but they did horrible. I'm like, what? And I found out that they had interview fright, and when they would go in, they'd go into like fight or flight mode, and they everything they thought about was gone, and they were scared, and their mind was blank, and they were sweating and dry mouthed, and wanting to run and get out of there. And so when, like, I taught my reps that I go, it's a conversation, it's not a test of your life. It's like you're just going to have a conversation. They're going to ask you questions, and you're just going to tell them about it. And if there's a better qualified candidate, they're going to get it. Trust me. If there's one position and there's 100 people interviewing for it, there's 99 people that are going to feel the same way. And it's okay. We're not judging you for it. We're just going to get feedback on what areas, if you need additional training, additional opportunities, then we're going to do it. And when we look at it differently, tests, interviews, like I said, performing in front of people or whatever, it's, you know, our fear of failure, our fear of rejection, and then things transform. So, but that's what they have for you right now. So hopefully that helps, Nikitha. But I feel like they're like, yeah, yeah, you're going to be fine. But focus on this right now, because this is going to free you up for all these other tests that you're going to have to take, you know, for all these years of study that you're going to be in. You're very welcome. And I'm very happy for you. So, all right. So thank you again for your donation as well. All right. And then HTTPS, thank you for your additional donation here. You want to know, is there any information from your spirit guides? Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see. Actually, they want you to have one of these healing spirit oracles. So let's take a look here. And for everyone else that I'm going to be on for about 15 more minutes. I'm probably going to be able to get through all my donations, but I will be back on later. I'll be leaving here to go to my Praying Mantis member session, be about an hour, and then I'm going to eat, and then I'll be back on to complete out all the free readings, because I won't be back until Friday morning for the free readings. And but be sure to check out my pick a cards. We got a big Gemini full moon tomorrow. And so there's some energy there that we can talk about. All right. So here is the message from your spirit guides here. Here's all your spirit guides surrounding you here. And it's card number 8, which says heal the past and fix tomorrow. And the message for the card here: it is seldom helpful to carry painful memories through your entire life. So, spirit healers and helpers are guiding you to the moment when it will be right for you to sit in the quiet of your own mind and invite them to help you. You must use this connection to conquer your past hurts and go forward and reach your full potential. The spirit healers and helpers will let you know when the moment is right to cut the ties to the past and let go and grow. So I love this message here for you. A lot of this beautiful green is the heart chakra, right? But there is this message of that you can ask them for help. There's a lot of things you ask your spirit guides before you come down to the planet to, help you in your journey and to help you along the way. And so they already know all that before you come down here. And then while we're down here, they do honor your free will and your power of choice, and they won't meddle in your life outside of what you asked them before, unless you ask of your own free will. Say, hey, can you give me some guidance on here? Give me some answers. Show me this, reveal this to me. Can you help bring this toward me or reveal how I can do that? And they will, they're always behind us. They will, do a behind us to make sure we're aware that they're there. And they do that through synchronicities in the outside world, a lot of repeating numbers where you're like, all right, I get it. What are you wanting? And they're like, we just want you to know that we're here for you, and we have tons of messages if you want to hear it. And this one particularly is, they're bringing to your attention that there might be some heavy things in your subconscious that have been running on autopilot and bouncing around down there that you can focus on and release. That'll make it easier for you to have peace and gratitude and joy and laughter and this wonderful flow in your life. And so they're just bringing to your attention anything around your the clogs that are in there. Yeah, in the Nine of Wands. So if you feel like there's any kind of barrier that has been keeping you from being able to move through it, this is them bringing you to that place. I have a free series on my main page. If you go to click on my bruddaZEN Mystic Tarot page, at the very top, the playlist, it's Take 10 with Zen. All of them are great because they're from spirit, not because they're from me. But episodes 4 and 5 talk about fate. And one of them, both of them kind of deal with this forest field that's up, keeping things away from us that we consciously want: love, promotion, money, whatever it is. But it feels like there's this forest field keeping things away. That's our little inner child going, no, we don't deserve that yet. And there's some things down there that can be looked at that will free you up. And so if you want to take a look at those series, they're videos that are 10 minutes or less. But episodes 4 and 5 specifically talk about that. And that Nine of Wands is the barrier that we talk about in episode 4. So the little, where our energy flows, what we focus on, and there's this energy there. So yeah, take a look at that, because I feel like they'll give you some great some information there as well. All right. So that is what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you there. And again, thank you for your additional donation. But don't be afraid to ask them for assistance. They are definitely there. And this is their way of going, well, you're asking about them too. And they're like, yeah, we're here. Just, take time away if you can and get out of the chaos. Because when we raise our vibration intentionally to joy, happiness, gratitude, unconditional love, that's the frequency at which they talk. When we're down here in the lower vibrational fear noise, it's very noisy. It's hard for us to hear the whispers of love. But if you step outside of all the chaos and noise and raise your love vibration, you can also hear some great messages from them too. All right. So many blessings. All right. You are very welcome. And thank you again for your multiple donations. Hey, Johanna. Love the butterfly carrying the caterpillar. A shout out to one of my members, my YouTube members. All right. So, and then Supernova. Let me see, when did this other one come in here? All right, very good. So Supernova, you are up. And then Elisa, and then we've got Latoya, and I may not be able to get it through everyone in 10 minutes here. And Johanna may not be able to get to you in there, but if not, we can always cover yours if you want to join me in the Praying Mantis session. I believe you are a Praying Mantis member. You can join me in the next one, and then because I believe you are a Praying Mantis, right? I think so. So we definitely can get you there for sure. All right. So Supernova. Let me just scroll down here. There it is. So your experiences of unhealthy habits and what spirit guides want you to hear, whatever it may be. All right, absolutely. Let's take a look here. And I feel like they're saying um unhealthy, but they're replacing it with unloving habits, which is interesting. And it's being aware, yeah, okay. It's being aware of that, you know, there's no right or wrong, right? And I like this. We've got the Justice card and the Six of Swords. Whoops. And I'm dropping stuff all over the place here. But we've got this is the Ace of Swords, which is, the balancing out of thought and belief. And the Six of Swords is the same thing. Being aware of what of our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets are, making us, feel small, and all these fears that take us into um trying to change things. You know, let me do these other ones. They're like, "Look at these first." I'm like, "All right, all right." They're holding back, like, because they go, "Look at these cards first," because that has to do with this 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is the abandonment feelings, being left behind, being left out in the cold, being, rejected, and feeling like um, feelings of lack and that we don't have enough that come in here. And you've got abundance. So you've got the lack, and then we have abundance. And there's these choices that we look at. And when we're in here, this is when we try to do things that we've been told are supposed to make us feel better. And this is when we get what we feel are unloving or unhealthy habits. We're taught here somewhere, somehow, we have these thoughts and beliefs that are formed, and this is how we make it better. But and so it's not so much, it's a lower vibrational action. And that's where, and you're perfectly saying that it's a habit, because we've been taught it. It's an opinion. It's what we took on as our own opinion. It became our habit, and it's our reaction. It's like, for me, it's sugar. When I feel sick or low or anything like that, or stressed, sugar is my go-to. I'm like, "Okay, I need some comfort food." And that's what we do. I try to make myself, because I can feel empowered. It's basically my inner child feeling out of control or unsafe, right? And so it does whatever it feels it needs to feel in control and feel safe, which food, food, food. I can control this. Now I feel more in control because I'm the one choosing this, and blah, blah, blah. It's whatever it is that we do, drugs, alcohol, sex, even workaholic, um, over exercising. We have all this stuff that we're taught, these extremities, right? So um, it's getting to the root of it, like we're talking about the subconscious. Our external actions are a result of an unconscious, subconscious belief that we can look at. And so when we go and look into that and go, "Oh, why am I stressing? Why am I freaking out? Why am I, why is this triggering for me to try to feel safe and in control? How am I feeling unsafe and out of control?" And once we are able to look into those things, that's where this justice and this Six of Swords is. It's moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, leaving behind old ways of thinking and moving to new ways of thinking. So there's this freedom that, comes in with that. So we definitely have, that type of energy that's there. So hopefully that helps. I know, right? So interesting. Thank you for asking those questions, because I love the energy that comes through. And I'm gonna have to go look at, why do I want sugar? No, I'm just kidding. I know why I do. All right. So many, many blessings to you. All right. And Elisa Manzini, thank you for your donation. Let me give that some love there. And you want to know, if you message F after a few months of no contact, will this spark a romantic reconnection or will it be well received? All right, great question. Let's take a look here. And you are a Gemini. Well, you're going to enjoy the Gemini full moon tomorrow. So let's take a look here. Be sure to check out the pick a card for the Gemini full moon because it talks about how to make the most of that energy too. All right. So if you contact, what is happening here? Okay. Will there be spark? How will it be received? All right. Well, you got the Hanged Man here, which is kind of this transformation and patience. Hold on. It's important for you to see things from a different perspective. Um, because we've got the Two of Wands too, which is the power of energy that's coming in here. And so with those two cards, there's like this, well, now wouldn't be a good time. It wouldn't be received like like it would be later. And it has to do with how you're looking at some things. Um, it's giving them time to have some transformation. But there's these things that are good for you because you have the Justice card, which is you looking at your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around relationship. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles here too, which is about togetherness, right? And wholeness. What does it mean? And even the Star card, all three of these together are telling me it's an important for you to look into and transform what you believe dreams come true are regarding relationship and fullness in the outside world, right? And because this is the dream come true card. But this Justice card is coming in strong about balancing out. You have your heart on one side and all the fears and supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and must on the other side. So it's like if you chose to reach out to them, they're not ready, I feel. But the slowness and the not readiness is for you too, so that you can raise your love vibration. You can change your perspective of things so that we don't do what we've always done and get what we've always gotten, as well. Right. So, we've got this energy of, okay, let me look at it and question, you know, am I looking at, the small T truths, which are my fears, this long list of supposed to, shoulds, and need tos, have tos, musts from others, that we've learned all our lives. And like, is that really what I want? Or is what I've been taught I'm supposed to want? And there's this clarity that comes in with all of this. It's like there's this shaking of some long held beliefs going, that's not really what I want. What does my high heart want? What do I feel I deserve? What have I felt I've deserved? But what do I truly feel I deserve? And because it's like, well, I don't deserve this. It's like, well, do I? No, I deserve that. you know. And then I feel like once you go through this transformation, even with like I was saying, like the cocoon, you even got this big butterfly here in the middle. You know, your idea of what you feel you deserve changes, and you may not even want to go back to this other person. You're like, no, I'm ready to, go in this other direction. Heck no. Or you may be like, okay, now I'm ready. And you reach out and then you see what unfolds with that. But right now, I feel like with that Hanged Man, they're like, hold on, do some transformation for you. Because like Johanna had put up, there's like this butterfly with a caterpillar. If they're a caterpillar and you're in the middle of becoming a butterfly, when you come out of the cocoon as a butterfly, you might be like, you're a caterpillar and I'm not going to carry you. You can't fly where I'm going to go, but I got wings. I got to fly now. And a butterfly would be more conducive for you than a caterpillar, right? So I like it. I'm glad that resonates. And thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, Johanna, if you can, because I'm gonna need to head out here. And Latoya, I see you here too. I want to give it the attention it deserves there. So what will happen here? I will. I'm going to take screenshots here real quick. I will be back after my praying mantis session after I eat, so I don't pass out. And Latoya, you'll be up first, and then Johanna, if you'll throw your question in, then you'll be second, and then I will start on the free readings. And so I will return and come back to that, just to make sure everyone knows too, because we have a Gemini full moon tomorrow. Here is the pick a card for that if you want to have something you can look at while you're waiting for your readings. Also, we had Sagittarius season start, and for you Sagittarius sun babies, there's a special bonus birthday reading in there where you get a forecast for 3 months. And if you have not looked at the monthly giveaway video, this video talks about who won in October and how you can get into the drawing for November at the end of November, which will be around December 1st. All right. So some things you guys can check out. And I've got a ton of other pick a cards that is also available on the main page. So if you also want other things to look at, there's a bunch of free content there. All right. Thank you guys for all your patience and all the donations. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me continue to offer what I do. And so all of my members, all of the people who donate, and giving a big thumbs up on the video helps my channel grow and helps spread the Zen love. So, thank you guys, all of you that have done that. Something free that you can do to support the channel too. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. So I'm just taking screenshots here. So I will go down in order of the chat. And once I'll pop on in a couple hours to finish these out, I will put a pinned comment in that new video in the order of which the readings were completed. So I'm not good at doing two things at once, can you tell? Um, and that way you can find where your reading is in order there. So thank you guys for your patience, and thank you so much, Latoya and Johanna, for your patience with me getting to your donation readings too. All right, I got all the screenshots. So thank you guys again. Hope you're having a great weekend. Know that every moment of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love to you. Have a great rest of your day or night. And we'll see you when we see you. Until then, much love. Hang in there, and you guys take care.